game, and today we'll enjoy Syracuse and Vermont with you. Jacob Thought, Tommy Burke, the two face-off men, and that's an early good start for the Catamounts. Burke controls the opening face-off and a first chance to see Vermont.
In the first three ball games, so that kind of continues here against Vermont. He's a wonderful player and a great start in the first quarter.
4 goals for Tucker Dordovic in the opener against Army. A casual hat trick against Virginia as Faulk wins it here and slows to Kennedy.
A great start.
Hiltz was more of a dodger in week 1 against Army, and they turned around and put him in a whole different role in week 2. Peter Durst ran somebody over, and so Vermont's going to get
cannon one to the back of the net, so big time goal for them.
And Tommy Burke wins another, charging inside and had it knocked free. Leader now in the PLL, and the Canadians have followed suit on this roster. Poses an interesting challenge for the Syracuse defense too. So far so good. Danny Varello checks in at the face-off spot for Syracuse, and the wing play once again.
The best in the country at getting the job done, shooting the rock.
Coaching staff says one of the biggest parts of his development has been where he's shooting it, not just how he's shooting it, as Tommy Burke wins another. So good a week ago, the 20 goals against Virginia has picked up here in this first quarter in a similar fashion when they've had the ball. That's been important because Tommy Burke has been so good for Vermont. Pops this one out, and now it comes down to wing play. Burke out of there momentarily, and Vermont can settle. You talk about Fifes and what this Vermont team has done as Faulk finally gets a win here against Tommy Burke.
And they've dodged from behind the cage, so that's a bright spot and a nice sight to see for Coach Desko.
Stephen Rafis, the captain. Green on the left side of your screen has won 6 of 9 to start the day. And everyone went toppling over. This time,
nice berry on that one.
5th goal for him. He's up to 9 points after a 7-point week last week against UVA. And that point streak feels like every time he steps on the field, he just gets a point for being there. Vermont off the face-off win. They were going to need to do that. They have done it. And it's a 2-goal game. And another face-off win coming into the day. He had not been as accurate as he had been. Faulk called for another
violation. The sidelines are on the field for many, many years, and that is one thing that he can certainly do is finish the ball.
Faulk gets a win for Syracuse. About that assessment.
Yeah, absolutely. In Army, you know, I thought that their attack was not working hard to get the ball. Their offense kind of looked, you know, they lacked a little bit of flow.
Now way down there. And Syracuse has its 10th goal. This Orange offense that had 20 a week ago against Virginia, 10 different players recording a point, has continued what it has needed to. 15 points on that Syracuse side right now, 5 assists. Tommy Burke has another. And Vermont called timeouts. For Vermont, for a better fit, wanted his major to be a little bit more a part of things. And Chris Fifes jokes that as soon as we leave practice, JJ's just walking into the woods.
Out of the middle, those should never happen. That goal should never happen in that situation. Breakdown on communication and not executing effectively on the defensive end has been a thing that's happened.
Back to the face-off spot we go. Danny Varello axed it free from Tommy Burke, at least momentarily. And a long kick brings us to the ground ball battle once again, one that UVM won 20-15. Reason why when Scanlon's name popped up in that transfer portal, John Desko was the first to call. Multi-goal game. 3rd multi-goal game of his career last week against Virginia. This is his 4th, and it is now the first time he's had 2 multi-goal games in a season.
And so that was a huge goal for the Catamounts.
One of two McConveys on this Vermont roster. McConvey, Thomas, that is, number 44, has his second. Brother Jonathan is also on this team. Their dad, Sean, said not a lot of broken windows growing up, but a lot of fence damage. And with a shot like that, we just saw. We asked John Desko if you recalled. And here in the Dome, the men's team rolling 14 goals in the third quarter. Owen Hiltz has a couple of them, both of them in this frame, and it's 14-9. 5:26 to go here in the third. Big face-off here, and the Wings come up with a mid-year transfer under Chris Fifes. And boy, are they glad to have him. Great career at Syracuse for a moment. He was loved by his teammates by all accounts, and has also been a big part of what Vermont has done now, and he has 2 goals today. It's been fun to watch.
Shot, let's get the next one, and then things will get interesting.
And now a big-time face-off. 3-goal game. Burke has been so good. And goes against Varello here, and he spins out of it. Another face-off win. Burke being chased. Burke inside. Burke. Slow jump.
See the passion and effort that both teams are bringing right now.
To the face-off spot we go. Vermont has dominated here, and they win games last year. He was jittery and emotional, a guy who cried in the locker room before last year's opener that he couldn't play in. He is back, and he is back in a big way. The orange up
with a perfectly placed shot to the upper 90 of the cage that was going over 90 miles an hour.
Vermont has another face-off. Closest 3 goals, and all of it thanks to Tommy Burke, the face-off man. Back to the face-off spot. Varello picks it up, and Alana Moye has it for those Culver Canadians out of Peterborough, Ontario, the Electric City. And Hiltz has brought that here to Syracuse, has 4 goals, a career high 4, of course, in his second career start after a hat trick.